Alright, welcome back to my YouTube channel everyone, and in this video I will teach you guys how to crush your opponents using DANISH GAMBIT. So, DANISH GAMBIT starts with e4. This is the most popular first move, and then they will respond with e5. After that, they may respond with d4. At the time, this is called center game, and most likely they will take the pawn. But you don't immediately take this pawn, but instead you offer them another pawn with c3. This is the start of the DANISH gambit. They can decline the gambit or they can accept the gambit. We will look at each of the variations, so this will be your main opening repertoire. So, the most popular and the best move is to take this pawn. After it, deploy your bishop to c4. We are still offering them another pawn and they can take it. After that, we can recapture it. At this rate, we are down 2 pawns, but what we get is the dangerous bishops staring at the black king. Our idea will be to bring out our queen to b3, f3 or d5 to attack this weak f7 pawn. So, let's look at the most popular variations one by one. The first variation is bishop to b4 check. This is by far the most popular and the best move for black. And you should know this variation because it's extremely important. Here, you can play king f1, but I really don't recommend that. Instead, you should play knight to d2. This move blocks the check, and instead of playing knight c3, we play knight d2 because knight c3 will block our b2 bishops squares. So, the most popular combination will be knight to f6. At this rate, we just develop our knight to f3. And then the best move will be to play castling. After that, you just castle and continue your normal game with rook c1 and putting your rook to e1. But they may go too greedy and took the pawn, which is a blunder because we can simply castle. Now black has to do something with his knight, so he should probably play knight takes d2. After that, we don't immediately take back, but we put in between move with rook to e1 check. He has to block the check with bishop. After that, we just take the knight with our queen, and they will castle. And at this rate, you may say that there are no more attacks, but we have 5 pieces against 1, 2, 3, 4, which means that it is possible to start an attack. But first of all, we will eliminate one of the defender by sacrificing our rook. This move sacrifices the rook and also eliminates the main defender of the black king, which is the bishop. After that, queen will take the rook. We just develop our another rook with rook to e1. Right now it's 5 against 3, which means that we smartly remove the main defender of the black king. They will offer the trade. We just decline the trade and play queen to g5. Then a checkmate on g7. They may play bishop queen to g6, and then there's an incredible brilliant move that if you play this move, then you're going to win. And there's only one move. Can you find it? And the move is bishop takes f7. The idea is that even though 3 of the pieces can capture, all of them will lead to loss of the material or checkmate. Let's take a look at one by one. If queen takes f7, simply rook to e7 is game over because you really need to take g7 pawn. If king takes, it's even more quicker because rook to e7 immediately ends the game. Finally, rook takes f7. In rook to f7, we just continue with check. They will block. Only move will take they take only move, we will take. If they play king f7, it's a checkmate, so they should block. And then we have another brilliant move. Can you find it? This is called a decoy sacrifice, where you sacrifice a piece to lure a piece to stop defending a piece. So it's bishop take g7. If king takes, king no longer protects the queen, so we can take. But they will try to play king to f7. After that, queen f6 check, king g8, bishop to a6, waiting on g2, queen to f7, check, clear the block and mate. The reason why I said this variation is the most important one is because if you know this variation, they can give you 3 brilliant moves, like 3 brilliant moves. So here, the first brilliant move is bishop takes g7, second is bishop takes f7, and final one is rook take 7. So this is a variation that you should know because it shows that development is the most important in chess. Okay, so this is a bishop to b4 check. If you see bishop to b4 check, block with knight to d2. Okay, so now let's go to another political response, which is knight to f6. Whatever you see knight to f6, just push e5. It's the best move. After that, they can play knight. They can transpose or like knight to e4 like that. After that, we have the same sort of idea, which is to sacrifice our bishop. If king takes, queen to f3 check, will win back our pawn and our bishop. Okay, so here, and they can also play d5, which is the best response. After that, we just take knight. They will take back. After that, we exchange queens. Take again. The only move is check, and then I c3. This, and the game continues and continues. And but you have the pass pawn on g7, which will be like castling check, block, and knight to d5. So sort of like attacks. Even though engine set is equal, I prefer white here because he has more attacking chances. So this is knight to f6. And another variation is knight to c6. And knight to c6, if you see knight to c6, just play knight to f3 and this transpose into Scotch Gambit. And your idea will be same, your queen on b3, d5, like that. If they play d6, you play knight to f3 anyway. The most popular and move is bishop to g4, but this is not a good move because you can sacrifice your bishop. After the king takes, another good move, which is knight to e5. Pawn cannot take because the queen will be hanging. After king e8, we just took a bishop and build up piece. Okay, so here the aggressive option is to play queen to g5. Yes, queen to g5 is the most aggressive move that black can ever play in Danish Gambit. But it's also the blunder because you're disobeying the opening principle which I upload on my YouTube channel. 3 main opening tips or principles. You should have developed your final pieces, but he developed the queen instead, so it's time to punish them with knight to f3. And then they will take our pawn because if they don't take, it's a waste move. Then we play rook to g1, eliminating a piece and taking the queen. We will play queen to h3. After queen to h3, we can sacrifice our bishop again with bishop take f7. The king cannot take because knight to f7 will lead to a fork. So they have to decline. After that, we have another brilliant move. It's rook take g7. If takes, we can take back and the rook will be hanging. If they don't take and simply play something strange, we just play rook to g3. We need their queen or their rook. Okay, so we have talked about bishop to b4 check, knight f6, d6, knight c6, and queen to g5. Now it's time to look at d5. It is the most second aggressive move. At this rate, take with the bishop after knight f6. There are two options. One will be to play for a draw, which is take. After take. It seems that you're winning queen, but bishop before check. Block with your queen and take. This is a dead draw position with black is better, so we don't want to play this if it's. But instead, we would like to play knight to c3, just giving our bishop here. If they take, we just take. And the most popular and the worst move in this position is c6. This move immediately loses because you have knight to f6 check. It seems that it's impossible, but it's possible because after pawn takes, exchange your queens, take, bishop takes, and then boom, you're losing a rook. After king c7, take, you're up an exchange, and your plan will be to deploy your knight castle, and it's easy game. And even though they don't play c6 like knight c6, just continue to blocking and castle. Okay, so it's d5. After that, you have learned all the variations of Danish gambit accepted. Now let's go to the decline variations. Here, they can immediately decline the gambit with d5. If they play d5, take on d5. After queen takes, take another pawn. Knight c6, knight f3, defending the pawn, and they will try to pin our knight. We just simply play bishop e2. Here, they may say that they want a pawn after this, but actually it's a blunder because check after takes. You want a full queen and probably the game. So even though they don't take a castle, we can just play bishop e3. After that, knight c3 castle, and a3 b4, rook c1, attack the king. So this is all about the Danish gambit, and yes, it's pretty much about Danish gambit. So based us in the idea of the Danish gambit, the most idea that you have to know is queen to b3 and sometimes bishop sacrificing on f7. It's ideas that you should know if you play Danish gambit. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and also IF1 is a more game that I had to show you. It is here. This is a game that I play with my chess.com. Here it's a Danish gambit, but instead he played knight c6 and I played knight f3. Before we discuss if they play knight c6, knight f3, and they play bishop before check. We play knight to b2, not knight c3 because it will block the bishop. Knight f6, that blocks the g7 pawn. Castle, e5, attacking the pawn, and he played a mistake. I attack it again, and he took my knight for no reason because he giving a dot square bishop for no reason. Take, and another mistake. And play d6. I play e6 to block this bishop. Knight e5, check. I attack. As you can see here, I am always attacking my opponent. He hasn't attacked me at all. Well, I'm just waiting, chilling on my chair and thinking what to do next. Here is a combination that if you can find it, then you're going to be a grandmaster. So trying to find a move that wins or that make a checkmate. So the combination starts off with knight take f7 check. Rook take will lose the rook, so they take with knight. Here I play the absolutely ridiculous move that only an engine or bot will play this move, and I play queen to a6 check. Queen to a6. You see, on a6 there are no pieces, and I give a free piece. The idea is that I'm threatening g7 checkmate, and here's only one way. After that, this will no longer defend f7, so I can take it and I will win materials. And you may say that what if he takes? Well, he takes in the game. And then I have f7 discover check, and the king cannot move at all, so he has to block, and bishop takes queen is a checkmate. So Danish Gambit is a fun opening to play and also very aggressive, and also it's pretty good for beginners and also for master level like me. So I hope you enjoyed my video, and if you like, please like and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys later. Bye.